If you've ever stood in a fabric store paralyzed because you don't know what colors go together, I am about to share something that will completely change how you see color. What if I told you that any hue can go with any other hue? That there are no color combinations that are off limits? The real question isn't what goes with what, it's how much harmony or contrast do I want? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to find your perfect balance using the color wheel. And once you see this, you will never struggle with your color choices again. Let's do it. All right, let's dive in. So common questions that I hear from quilters, from makers is, do these colors clash? Is this allowed? What goes with purple? Well, remember, there are no forbidden color combinations. It's all about your harmony and contrast preference. Any hue, and a hue is just one of these, each of these wedges on the color wheel, any hue can go with any other hue as long as you're choosing a similar tone. So brights go well with brights, muted, muddy colors go well with muted, muddy colors. So as long as you're choosing a similar tone, any hue can go with any other hue. So then the question just becomes, well, what's your preferences and what effect are you trying to create with this project? So let's look at the palette spectrum. I believe very firmly that there is no right or wrong when it comes to color, when it comes to art, when it comes to creativity. And so there's no right or wrong here. It's just what you're drawn to and what you feel like is going to be best for the particular project that you're working on. So we have monochromatic all the way to rainbow in terms of the whole spectrum. Monochromatic, mono meaning one, chroma, color, so one color, all the way to a subtle color palette with colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, contrasting colors that are further away from each other on the color wheel. The further colors are away from each other on the color wheel, the more contrast there is. And then a really dynamic palette, so colors that are found from all around the color wheel, okay? Or just go straight rainbow, pull all the colors in, go wild. So let's look at each of these. Monochromatic palette is maximum harmony. It's very peaceful. It's very cohesive. Your focus is going to be on the design without the distraction of the colors. And so you can choose with monochromatic, it's helpful to choose lights, mediums, and darks, maybe some that are really saturated, some that are less, to give a little bit more variety. So it's not just all kind of blending together, but this can look really elegant, really harmonious. All right, let's add a little bit more. Let's move a little bit over on the spectrum. So now we're moving, instead of just monochromatic with one wedge, we're moving into a subtle color palette. So this is a gentle contrast. It's still very flowing. It's very natural. Colors that are next to one another on the color wheel. So blues and greens are next to each other on the color wheel. So we have blues, this dark teal, and then the chartreuse. They're all next to each other on the color wheel. So nothing really stands out and is surprising. Nothing is really jarring. It's very gentle, but there's a little bit more going on than in the monochromatic palette. Let's go a little bit further. Now, remember I said colors that are next to one another on the color wheel are harmonious. Colors that are further away from one another on the color wheel are contrasting. So this example has blue and orange, which are directly opposite one another on the color wheel. They are going to create the most contrast you can possibly get. Blue looks most blue next to orange. Orange looks most orange next to blue. So this creates a really bold contrast. It's very vibrant. It's very energetic. It does really stand out. That orange really stands out with all of those different blues in there. And a little bit further, Instead of choosing colors that are next to one another on the color wheel or colors that are opposite one another, what if you plucked 3 or 4 or 5 colors from all around the color wheel? Maybe you make a little triangle and choose a pink, a turquoise, and a gold. Or you make a square and choose a green, a gold orange, a pinky fuchsia, and a violet, right? You can just pull colors from all around the wheel to make a really dynamic palette. So this is dynamic balance. It's playful, it's complex. So we have warm colors in here, we have cool colors, and since there are colors from all around the color wheel, it does give a really colorful, fun effect. So with the monochromatic palette, the main focus is going to be then on your design, since the color palette is so simple. Here, the stronger focus is going to be on the colors. So it's going to have more of a colorful effect rather than all of the focus being simply on the design. No right or wrong, it's just what are you drawn to and what are you drawn to for this particular project. And now the farthest end of the spectrum, a full rainbow, maximum joy, celebration of color, the more the merrier in terms of your color party. So that can just be really fun, really playful. Again, it's all a matter of what you like. So look, the same applique pattern, this is my scrappy applique technique, in 3 different palettes. So we have this monochromatic, this sun color palette with all these different oranges, or orange and blue contrasting, opposite sides of the color wheel. They really make each other stand out. Or this, there's colors from all around the wheel, blues, greens, yellows, oranges. We don't really have pinks in there. That would add to it, but there's a bunch of colors from all around the wheel. So what are you drawn to? What does your gut say? What is kind of tugging at you? What catches your eye as to the palette that you are really drawn to? So your personal sweet spot. Ask yourself, what are you drawn to? Also, with this particular project, what mood are you trying to create? Are you trying to create something just playful, colorful, fun? Are you trying to create something really dynamic and really contrasting, bold? Are you trying to create something that's really elegant and subtle and serene? There's no wrong answer. It's just going to depend on your personal preference and what you want this this particular project to look like, the effect that you want to create. So the magic formula is your color preference. So which of those palettes are you drawn to? And you might be drawn to 2 or even 3 of those palettes I shared. And then the mood of the particular project. Is it going to be bold? Is it going to be dynamic? Is it going to be subtle and elegant, serene? So that really helps you to create that perfect palette for you and for your project. Because sometimes you want whisper soft and sometimes you want to shout. So here's your homework. Look at your fabric stash or even your wardrobe. Where do you naturally land on this harmony contrast spectrum? Are you more on the subtle side, or do you love energy with bold contrasting colors? So this is just the beginning. In our full Color Competence for Quilters curriculum inside of Meander, we dive deep into not just hue, but how value, saturation, print mixing, just to name a few, all play into finding your signature color style. So if you want to explore this further, I have a free guide on finding your color style that also includes my color wheel. So you can click below to grab that. But for now, remember that any hue can work with any other hue. The only question then is how much harmony or contrast makes you happy. I'll see you next time. Be sure to like or subscribe if you want to see more of this. Thank you so much.